What's up everyone, Jun with the Sushi Man here, and today I'm going over how to make Japanese dashi stock. This particular one is called awase dashi and consists of katsuobushi, which is dried bonito flakes, and konbu, or dried kelp. The combination of the two gives it a rich and deep flavor that's full of umami. This is one of my favorite dashi stocks and it can be used for so many Japanese dishes, such as miso soup, udon, soba, oden, shabu shabu, donburis, I mean the list can go on. And it only takes about 20 minutes to make with very minimal work. Keep watching and I'll show you how. And if you enjoyed learning about sushi and Japanese cuisine, be sure to check out my book, How to Make Sushi at Home, a fundamental guide for beginners and beyond. It's basically my 20 plus years of sushi experience simplified into one book with step-by-step instructions and recipes. Tons of sushi knowledge in there obviously, but I also go over Japanese cuisine fundamentals such as this dashi stock. So if you're a sushi chef in training or just love to cook Japanese food, this book will help you out. I'll have links in the description below for those that are interested. Alright, now let's get right into it. First, let's go over really quick what dashi is. Dashi is a cooking broth or stock that's made from umami-rich ingredients such as konbu, katsuobushi, shiitake, iriko, or niboshi, or a combination of those. It's really the heart of Japanese cuisine and the ultimate source of umami. Unlike Western stocks, which typically simmer some sort of meat for long hours, Japanese dashi is extremely simple and quick to make. And the quality of the dashi really comes down to the quality of the ingredients you're using. Now don't worry, you don't have to go harvest your own seaweed or shave fresh katsuobushi, though if you can, that would be awesome. Most Asian markets will carry decent quality ingredients, and if not, there's a ton of options online. And honestly, if you want to keep it super simple, you can use instant dashi packs like these. This is shiitake dashi in a powder form. This one's konbu dashi, and the very popular and widely used hondashi. And you should be able to find these at your local Asian market or online, but I'll leave some links below in case you're not able to find them. So you might be asking, why not just use the instant ones then? Well, the benefits to making your own is 1, you can control the ingredients, which also means you can control the flavor, and 2, it's typically healthier. The con is that it takes a bit of time, not much but still more than any of these instant packs. That said, in regular home cooking, these packets are super convenient and we use them all the time. But the downside of these is that they tend to have more sodium, and also a lot of them contain MSG. Now, I know that's a very debatable topic and I'm not going further into that, but I just wanted to let you know the pros and cons of each. Anyways, enough jibber jabber, let's go over the tools and supplies. Alright, so first we'll need a small pot. One with a spout will come in handy. We also have a measuring cup to measure out the water. Next, a strainer or sieve. A bowl or container to strain the dashi in. And also a jar or some sort of airtight container to store it in. Make sure it's big enough to hold about 4 cups. And lastly, a pair of hashi or chopsticks or tongs, whatever you have to take the ingredients out. And that's it, super simple. Now let's go over the ingredients. First, we have some katsuobushi. This is 1 cup. And when picking out the katsuobushi, try to find one that has larger flakes, and avoid ones that are all shredded up into tiny pieces. Also, there should be either a pink or tannish color to it. Stay away from anything that looks gray or dull. Next is the konbu, or dried kelp. And we'll be using about a 4-inch by 4-inch piece of it. Now, there's different varieties of konbu, but most of them will be fine to use for dashi. Things to look for is the color, which should be different shades of dark green to almost black. Try not to use the really light or bright green ones. It can be flat or wrinkled, but it should have a relatively smooth texture with no holes. And this white powdery substance, not sure if you can really see it on there, but it's a good thing. This is where a lot of the umami is, so make sure you don't wash it off. Lastly, we have 4 cups of water, which I'll be measuring from here and into the pot. And that's about it. Now let's move on to making our dashi. First step is to measure 4 cups of water and put it into our pot, which I've already done here. Next, we add the konbu and set the heat to medium-low. Now we let this sit until the water almost comes to a boil, about 8 to 10 minutes. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes, and you'll notice these small bubbles that form around the outside. That's when you know it's about to boil. And I forgot to mention in the supplies part earlier, but you might want another bowl or plate to put the ingredients in after it's done. Anyways, now we take this konbu out. And don't throw this away, we can still use it for niban dashi, or make some tsukudani with it, which is when we simmer it with a soy-based sauce. It's a great side dish that goes really well with rice. You can check out recipes online, or I'll probably make a video on it in the future. Anyways, the next step is to add the katsuobushi into the pot, and we're going to bring this back to a boil. Okay, once it starts boiling, we're going to turn the heat off and let it steep for about 10 minutes or so. Alright, now it's been right about 10 minutes, and you'll notice that the katsuobushi kind of sank to the bottom of the pot. That's how you know it's ready. Now we strain this into our bowl using our sieve. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how simple it is to make traditional Japanese awase dashi. Now, if you're not using this right away, I like to let it cool down a bit more before I transfer it into our container, and then I'll pop it in the fridge. And as long as it's in an airtight container, it should last a few days. And if you want to keep it longer, just freeze it and it should last up to about 3 months. And I've seen people freeze it in a Ziploc bag or ice cube tray so that it's more convenient to use later on. And don't toss the katsuobushi out either. This again can be used for niban dashi, or you can chop it up and cook it to make homemade furikake, which is rice seasoning. Alright, that's about it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you found it helpful. And now that you know how to make Japanese dashi, check out one of these videos to make good use of it. I'll see you on the next one. ありがとうございます。